Hello, NeXT community. How's everybody doing today? That hard drive just made a really cool noise starting up, and I want to figure out how. It went like, brrrr. So someone has tweaked that drive BIOS to make a sound. Anybody out there know how it does it? I wish I would have caught it the first time because it only happens every now and then. So my project here is final touches for the tribute system for Curt Gridley, the developer, Lotus Improv, and this is going to be on permanent display in Wichita, Kansas at Grooverlabs. And Tracy has been very gracious and patient, waiting for me to figure out how to work all this out so it does it automatically. And this is a first for me in my 31 years. So there's two different things that I've discovered in this journey. The first was how to edit the official NeXT login screen, as well as what's called the NeXT Halo, which lets me change the original NeXT login panel. That's great because that sound tells me that my Metro Tools config is good. So once more, I was able to change this login window to a Groover's Lab. Also was able to put his name, Curt Gridley's name, as a tribute. And with any luck, I'm going to talk here for, about a minute or so. And if things work out well, the screensaver with the slideshow will automatically kick in. This is great because all they have to do is press the power button on this NeXT. She'll start up. They won't even have to log in, and the screensaver will just run. So for our purposes, I'm just going to continue to talk here. So I discovered it was kind of frustrating, but now that I knew how to change within NeXT software, I don't think they anticipated anybody being able to figure this one out, but it involves going into a deep dive into the belly of the Unix beast, so to speak. You have to have your Unix expert preferences checked on. You go into the I'm just going to try and do this for memory. USR lib. Oh, man. And then I think next step, and you look for the login window app. From there, I changed the name because there's two files called login window with no extension, and the other login window.app. So first I changed login window. I added a 1, simply added a 1, pressed return. And then on login window, I just removed the .app extension. This reveals the underbelly of the app. And within that, there was a couple files that we needed. One was the login panel.tiff, and the second was the NeXT Halo.tiff, and that's the NeXT logo that bounces around the screen automatically as a screen server to prevent screen burn. And the login panel.tiff is just that. It's your login panel, the default one. So I created a Grooverlabs template with the same footprint, and I renamed that NeXT Halo.tiff to NeXT Halo 1, login panel.tiff to login panel.1. Then with my template file, you guys can pause if you really want to know how to do this step by step. I could probably talk you through it, but you will then change whatever you called your template to login panel.tiff, drag it into that directory. Whatever you changed your bounce around the screen logo to for the NeXT Halo, name that file NeXT Halo.tiff and drag and drop it into the directory. then we're going to back out, right? So first you're going to want to add that .app. This was not easy, right? I'm lost at this point, but I'm sure you guys are going like, what the heck? So, oh my God, I forget what it's called. So, brain fart. Okay, so at any rate, we're replacing, I believe it's login window with a .app. Then we remove login window, the number 1, and press them, and you should see the icons come back up. Then you're in business, okay? And when you reboot, log out, reboot, you should get your login custom panel, and that's native to NeXT. Now, there's a little application called Metro Tools. And Metro Tools has some configurations that, as I say, I'm talking along here and hoping they will kick into gear and we're held in place. That sign, that initial login and the icon flying up the left side of the screen tells me that we're just kind of in a holding pattern, and I hope that I have everything set up correctly. So I'll continue to talk away here in hopes that this thing will just auto-launch for me like it's supposed to. If not, we'll have to go into the app and figure out what's happening here, and I'll show you in preferences. I'm probably going to have to do that anyway. I was just hoping that this thing would kick into gear and show me some love on this Wednesday afternoon, as I would really like to ship the system out to them. And I've got about an hour. My proof of concept worked before, just on reboot. So this is my first attempt from a cold shutdown. And I can tell that it is the Metro Tools daemon working, because it says Grooverlabs and then it has his name, which I configured. So the only thing I'm waiting for is basically the nightlight utility within NeXT preferences. Okay, that's that little calendar icon on the right side of your screen, the dock. You can add custom login panels as well as screensavers there. So that's the other way to do it, rather than just like hacking the front end of the operating system. And I kind of understand what happened with that big outage, that took down all the Windows servers. From what I was reading, this is kind of the same idea. I don't know if it's necessarily coming in at a kernel level, but what they did is this little utility or patch that they created was trying to write itself into non-existent system memory, which then caused Windows to panic and then create the outage. So similar things can happen when you're mucking about with the functionality of the way login screens work and so forth. So I would highly recommend not doing what I'm doing. And believe me, I'm no expert at this. It took me a lot of hours to figure out how to even get to this point. So I went into Metro Tools, installed the server daemon, and took the .app off it and found that they had an empty login.tiff, which explained why everything was looking cockaroo when I logged out, because I was getting some kind of mutant hybrid. So by dropping my footprint, the Grooverlabs template that I created for this login right in front of me, and we were in business. So for whatever reason, we're 9 minutes in. I'm going to go ahead and log in and see what we've got going. So this may require the sysadmin at Grooverlabs to do the same thing. I was hoping I'd have it set up automatically. I do, but it just doesn't seem to be kicking in correctly. So, two places we can look. The first is that upper right corner. I guess I could have put the camera on a tripod, but as usual, I'm winging it. And by clicking. I decided to go with the original Seagate Barracuda because it's also more responsive than our SCSI SD card. And, you know, it seemed like I was being guided by spirits themselves. Let me just put it that way, because everything else I was trying was just causing the system to hang. So here you'll see under preferences, if you scroll all the way right, when you install, oh, I see why it's taking so long, because it's set to 4 minutes. We only want it to 1. So you can see here the login hook, log out hook. At the end it says Metro MT log in, log out. And then the screensaver is the night light in Metro Tools. I also have Metro Tools set to auto launch here. And in Metro Tools, the key here is these shades. Okay, that's your nightlight app. And with any luck, it has been set correctly. So it's set to 4 seconds. That's correct. I've got all my files in here. You just drag and drop whatever small, I emphasize small pictures that you want to appear. And if we just do screensaver, it'll show us the screensaver with any luck. So this is after adding all the different files and downsizing them so that they'll appear. And there's Gentleman Curt. And so it should dissolve and kick over to the next picture. And I've got 4 or 5 of these set up. And they can easily add more just by going in. And, you know, if they need to give me a call on the phone, they can. So I'll be happy to help them add more to this little display. But it's got, I think, 5 pictures currently and maybe the logo. And I think the maximum on this app was around 20. So I don't know what happens if you push the envelope beyond that. You have to remember we were limited to a 2 gig partition at the time and 32 megs of RAM. So there's our little Grooverlabs logo. Okay, so Metro Tools. So what I did back here, as I say, under the first section in configuration, I went into server and I installed the daemon, the nightlight, login window, and the initialization sound. I also set over here the login window bounce, which I assume it'll bounce around the screen, and just kind of left these the same. Login dim time is set to 4 seconds. So I'm trying to figure out why we're getting such a delay. Let me go back here. Yeah, so if I drop this back to, say, just 1 minute, not 4, and that might be something NeXT does, just sets it to 4 minutes. So we're going to do hide, okay. You want to hide Metro Tools so that it stays running. That's important. And then when we log out, to make sure that screensaver change takes effect, I think we could try this. This is interesting. You can just reboot the Windows server by typing in exit at the login. And so that should reboot our Windows screensaver. And as usual, you know, what I wanted to be a 5-minute video is turning into probably 15, 20 minutes. But with any luck, we're going to get our Grooverlabs back. And now we've got a countdown of a minute. Oh, man. So on a personal note, I am very excited after waiting 9 months walking around on a fractured hip. I am scheduled for hip replacement surgery on Monday. So they say about 80% of the people can walk out of there after 2 hours. I'm hoping I'm one of those 80%. And then there is a period time of recovery. So during that time, I will have assistance here, but I prefer not being slammed with orders for CRTs and such. And please accept my apologies, but it'll be nice. Hey, it looks like we're going to get a screensaver to have my functionality back as a human being. Be able to walk around without severe pain. So our final check on this, now that we know our screensaver's kicking in automatically, let's go ahead and I'm going to click power off. And this is what I wanted to show the first time here. I can see the little cursor. Apologies for the camera bumping around as usual. Turn it off. I even got a new stand. The camera's going to follow me around. Apparently, I set the camera. That's going to be scary. I don't know, man. Technology's getting more improved by the minute, and I think I could put skins on so I can make it really fun, so I can look like an ogre or a dragon or whatever I want while I'm doing these videos, which kind of sums it up. So we're gonna power on here, a little power key, and I want to see if this Barracuda will make the noise. I don't know why it did or what it. No, not today. It's like when it was spinning up, it made some kind of like sounded like a starship taking off. So please, with any luck, I just want to get back to that login screen. You can probably see as well, if you compare to the other two videos, that I've got this thing kind of snapping now. And I do have a Zulu Extreme Pro card set up with the 2 gig partition and all my apps. I'm going to go ahead and drop that one out because they already have one out there that Tracy has on the other system. So if they wanted to, they could. In fact, I'll probably ship with this splitter, power splitter, and cable, just so if they need to, they will have these already in place. And I doubt anybody's going to be opening up this box anytime soon. But for my sanity, knowing in the future that it may happen, it'll be in place and it works with either the shorter cables or the longer cables. So I might as well leave the longer stuff in there. Hey, there goes that initialization for Grooverlabs. And now, should I try and talk for another minute? Because we're 17 and a half minutes in. I know I'm probably approaching the 4 o'clock time. Oh yeah, I gotta go in for an EKG tomorrow, so that was one of the reasons I really, really, really wanted to get this system out the door today. And it's actually an echocardiogram. So she described it like, it's like when we look at a new baby with ultrasound, except we're looking at your heart. I was like, oh, okay. And at least I'll be able to see that I do have a heart. And hey, presto, if this screensaver comes up, hallelujah. So, another successful endeavor. I am going to install the hard drive, do one more quick startup reboot, box and ship. You all have a great day, and stay tuned. More cool stuff to come from the black hole. Tracy, I hope this meets to your satisfaction. And if you guys have any questions out there, just give me a call. I'll be happy to talk you through anything you guys need.